For those of you that follow my videos, you know I love Tampa. But let's be real honest for a second. It's not for all y'all. If you're planning to move to Tampa, Florida, I'm giving you 10 facts that you might want to know. There are videos out there similar to this one that you might see. Heck, I've even shot a few, but one, you know I don't sugarcoat things. And two, I always look to stand out, so I'm gonna mix in a few good ones just for you that you won't see people talking about. And we're getting into it right now. So you are prepared. I'm not talking about hurricanes or the fact that it can get downright hot and humid in the summers. Most of you already know that. And I'm not talking about the cost of living or mentioning politics. And it's not because that topic is off limits. I'm happy to go there. But today, I'm giving you some dirt on Tampa. And by the end of this video, if you can handle what's on this list, I am a licensed realtor, born and raised right here. And my team and I would be happy to help you and your family find your next home. Seriously, reach out. Our info's right there, and we have a channel all about what it's like living here. Now, first on the list, and I have to say, might be the one that throws me off the most because it's not like we're that different from other cities, are the animals and wildlife. It seems that every week I get asked about the wildlife or bugs here, and I'm shocked at how many people don't know about alligators or think that we have poisonous snakes just running around everywhere. Then again, we were hiking somewhere up in Maine or Idaho and my wife came across a moose. She would probably think it's safe to pet. So while it's no surprise that an alligator can be a dangerous animal, for the most part, we don't go in mucky ponds and they don't like to come where you are. Now, every now and then, if you're in a subdivision with a golf course or in a community with a retention pond, you'll see a gator come out and they just sun on the bank, but for the most part, they stay in the water. And keep in mind, the average gator we're talking about is like 3 to 5 foot. We're not talking Jurassic Park here. While Florida does have a few species of poisonous snakes, I've only seen a few while out on hikes, and that's exactly where they're supposed to be. Now, I just went on an RV trip with my kids and we hiked Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee. We literally saw a copperhead on every single hike. But rest assured, while we are aware of snakes and gators here, they're not part of our everyday living. You just know where not to go. Now, I promise y'all, I'm not trying to scare you off from moving here or anything, but we do have a decent amount of bugs, especially mosquitoes. There's all kind of memes out there making fun of the mosquitoes in the South, but it's all fun and games until you experience it for yourself. They are really only a problem when you have standing water around, which, given the rivers, ponds, and lakes spread out throughout Tampa that make it just such a beautiful place, you can now see how it can pose an issue. An odd thing with mosquitoes is that they tend to like some people more than others. Like this one time we went hiking in the state park and it was almost sunset, and FYI, mosquitoes are worst at sunset and sunrise. But some mosquitoes started to come out and they didn't really bother me. But when we got back to my truck, my wife looked like she played goalie for a dart team. She had bites everywhere. A local tip for you though, both of my daughters really welt up when they get mosquito bites. So we found this thing on Amazon called the bug bite thing, and holy smokes, it works. It just like suctions on the bike and the itching goes away and all the little marks go away even faster. And you know, I can't forget to tell you about the wasp, roaches, and love bugs.
No, 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 hell no.
The other day I was in the backyard pushing my daughter on the swing and a big old wasp came out from under the slide. She's allergic, so I was swatting at the wasp and telling her to run inside. And then we get inside and I hear my wife screaming, "Roach!" She then followed up with, "Oh, I'm the man of the house and it's my job. You know those things could fly?" Well, then I found myself in Home Depot aisle with half a dozen other dudes reading the backs of all the labels. They had roach killer, wasp spray, ant killer, spider killer, mosquito repellent, snake repellent, fruit fly traps, ant bait.
That's about it.
While I'm telling you the truth here, please know, it's no different than any other place in the South, and my suggestion is simply to get a pest control company to spray every other month, and you should be good to go around the house. If you guys have any good Tampa or even Florida stories or experiences, leave them in the comments. Good, bad, or ugly. I love a good story and I enjoy reading your comments. So big houses. Yes, big houses are something you should know about, or should I say lack of. Living in Tampa my entire life, I always thought 2,400, 2,500 square foot homes are pretty decent sized homes. I mean, that's a pretty average middle of the road home here. I have people from up north or primarily colder areas moving here talking about downgrading from their 4,000, 5,000, even 8,000 square foot homes. And I'm like, we don't have those here. I mean, we do, but it's not that common. The only thing I can put together is that based on the seasons, etc., you all have basements and we don't. If we dig 6 feet down, we have swimming pools, so no basements. We also spend a lot of time outdoors because 12 months of the year, things are hopping. Concerts, festivals, the beaches, fishing, golf, the list is endless. But we get out of the house, so maybe we're the opposite of Texas. Not everything is big here, but we do have fun. The next one, you definitely have not heard anyone say. Tampa's pretty dated. Most of the city was built out between the 1940s to the 1970s, and much of it still gives off those same vibes. It's not uncommon to see power lines in neighborhoods and a lot of the older homes that have been added onto or remodeled, but not in a modern way. Part of Tampa's charm was that it was always very mom and pop. It was thriving, but it's in its own way. And the small businesses and a ton of local influences, not the chain operations. If you like newer homes, you have to look out to the suburbs and you'll have your pickings, but in the city, be prepared to buy an older home and put your own touches on it. And before I move on from this point, where it can feel a little dated, with the city's new popularity, we have a ton of new development giving us the best of both worlds. We still have that small town feel, but with new toys like Sparkman's Wharf, Midtown Tampa, the Tampa Riverwalk, Water Street, Channelside, and the downtown area, all getting revamped, and now talks of freshening up Ybor City, and there's more on the way. Piggybacking off that last one, regardless if you are looking to buy an older home or a new build, understanding home maintenance while living in Florida, it's a must. The weather and the pests here will impact your home, and you need to keep both of them out. Protecting your home from rain, humidity, and critters starts with sealing it all in from the outside elements. Keeping up with your roof, seal the windows and all potential holes or gaps where critters or rain can penetrate. If you can learn this, you will be ahead of most homeowners here. And if you aren't from here, you need to know. Keeping up with your lawns and your landscaping, it's no joke. Budget for a landscaper is about $100 to $150 per month, or roll up your sleeves because it's a weekly chore. In the summers, the rain makes everything grow, cutting the grass, picking the weeds, hedging the bushes. It's pretty much a regular thing here. And it's always a juggling act of knowing exactly how much to water things because the heat is intense in the summer and plants need watering, but then it rains and in buckets, so then you don't need to water them. And it's like one day your plant is wilting because the sun's drying it out, and the next you're praying it doesn't grow mushrooms from overwatering. Fun times, right? Our beaches. You didn't think you'd see that one on the list, did you? And that's because our beaches are amazing and it's a major reason why people want to move here. But here's the deal. They're not here. They're not in Tampa. They are in our backyard on the Pinellas side of the Tampa Bay. At best, 30 to 35-minute drive. And if you like a suburb like Wesley Chapel, which is northeast of Tampa, which is in the opposite direction, you're about an hour away. Now, this isn't a problem for most people, and I can give you a bunch of reasons why this isn't a game changer. But for those of you thinking that you're moving here and you're gonna be at the beach daily, and that you think you're gonna live in Tampa and you only wanna live 15 minutes from the beach, it doesn't exist. You can live 15 minutes from the beach or even on the beach, just so you know, but it's not Tampa. If that is your dream, I'm not here to crush those dreams either. Call me because I like to sell beach living too. And I can give you the ins and outs of where you wanna be, but Tampa is for boating and Pinellas, well, that's the beaches. Now, because of those beaches, and because we have boating and water views and tons of fun all 12 months of the year, we get a bad rep for being a little bit too laid back, too relaxed. I have heard it a million different ways, like our service is slow and we don't show enthusiasm, or back in my city, that would never fly. Well, live here for a bit and let's talk about that after a few years. Tampa's made up of transplants from all over, and it's so funny to see people that have lived here for a while because they soften up. Something about the sun and the water and the vibes here, they just relax you. So I apologize on behalf of my hometown. We don't mean to move a little bit slower. It's just that we're always busy salting our margaritas and not our roads. Number 7, a not so fun topic, HOA and CDD fees. If you like those big bad communities, which we are known for, those communities with all the bells and whistles like crystal lagoons and miles of trails to run and bike, clubhouses, parks, you know, those. Well, then you need to know about HOAs and CDD fees. HOAs here are typically under $100 a month and usually pay a management company which enforces rules within a community and can maintain the roadways, entrances, and common areas. CDD fees are usually the ones that people aren't familiar with. So in a nutshell, when a development is built, the developer takes a loan out to fund the amenities within the community and calculates what it needs to maintain them long-term, then divides this cost amongst the homeowners. And it's usually proportionate to the home and the lot size. It's paid within your taxes, and usually it runs around $2,000 per month, plus or minus. Now, these numbers are rough estimates to give you an idea, but obviously there are many variables that can make these numbers change from community to community. But now you know, and if you don't like these fees, look outside of these type of communities. But it is pretty common here with those master plan neighborhoods. Now back to some fun. It's exhausting living here, absolutely exhausting. There is so much to do, and that's no joke. My calendar is jam-packed all year round. Every week Thursday hits and my family looks at me and like, hey, what do we got going on? They know weekends start on Friday and we are off to the races until Sunday night. While it still is Florida and you can come here to retire and choose a quiet, peaceful life that is slow paced, because that does exist, but that's not what Tampa is mostly known for. It's booming and it begs you to get out of the house and do things. From major sporting events to festivals, parades, concerts, Sunday markets, the beaches, you name it, we have it, and it's all family friendly and it's all very welcoming to everyone. I always say Tampa is a city where you can live a life by design. You choose your lifestyle and we have it, except for more mountains. We don't have that. That was a quick transition, but a good one, as we're flat. And I don't mean me, I still got way more to go. I mean the state. Florida is flat and Tampa is no different. Yes, we have water everywhere and the views can be gorgeous, but we don't have real changing of the seasons. So we don't get those fall colors and we don't have mountain views. Heck, I don't even know that we have little baby hills. I'm a sucker for mountain views and a changing landscape, but there's no luck here. Outside of telling you that you'll have to deal with some of the best beaches in the country, poor you, and sun all year round to soothe your pretty soul, we do have a pretty kick-ass international airport, so you can quickly get away to fill that void, then come back to paradise. Last one on the list, and because I'm bad at counting, I'm firing off a few, so my apologies if I missed the mark. Tourism. We have to share our city with snowbirds seasonally, and tourists that fly in and want to experience what we have every day. Then there's traffic. Our city is growing, and the roadways are always under construction. Always under construction. You need a car to get around because, well, we have no great public transportation other than a city bus, and that's not that exciting. This means traffic, but at least it's not Chicago or LA traffic. And my honest opinion is it's not that bad. And why not mention some weather, particularly the storms. When it rains, it really rains. And when you experience your first thunderstorm, a close lightning strike will scare the shit out of you. After a while, you'll come to enjoy them, almost like rain on a tin roof. Great time for a nap, and they don't last that long. These are all very real things that you'll experience if you live in Tampa. It's not the end of the world, but some of them can rattle your cage if you don't know about them before moving here. If these things didn't faze you and you still want to move to Tampa, I'm happy to hold up my end of the bargain and I'll help you find a home. So we are licensed realtors. See that number on the screen? Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, I would love to help you and your family find your next home. So until that next video, I'll catch you later.